welcome back. We're here to do the divine feminine and masculine joint connection update. And while I'm looking for the ruin cast, which is in the book, I'll give you the PDF of what our members host. Now, some perks have changed. Yes, I do have to update the video, but we do have pre-release content, star signs, and that is released a week ahead of the crowd for the main page. We then have the base level chat room, pre-release twin flame videos a week ahead. And at the top level, you get all of that, plus you get bonus element reads for masculine and feminine, video talk and text stream, as well as our soul coaching and in the dark super chat once a month. So if you want to come through and join us, feel free. Now, let's take a look at the ruin cast. Now, what do we have here? So, okay, Uranus and Taurus. So this relates to change. Now, it does kind of make sense because for those of you that have followed me for a while, spiritually speaking, we have these, it's a little bit like something borrowed, something blue, you know, the old and the new, and we're trying to find innovative ways of doing it. And of course, because Jupiter's here in the spiritual connection, we're going to find, especially in the spiritual marriage energy, there's going to be new and old situations that we're integrating, but it can be quite sudden. So especially with the joint connection energy I'm seeing here, there is a transformation going on. And I'm noticing through the card, we get to this, should I stay, should I go energy. And it's almost like, I'll read the card of what it says behind, which is an Abraham Hicks card. It is very empowering to discover that your patterns of thoughts do not have to follow your current situation, and therefore your current situation on all subjects can change. See, and we do have the transformation card. We do not recommend taking the physical action of leaving a relationship without deliberately coming into thought alignment with the new desires that you have been born out of your current relationship. And then whether you stay in the relationship or move on to another, you can have exactly what you desire. So yeah, it's about getting very intentional, very intentional. I always say check in with yourself weekly. Sometimes we have those vibrations and we say to ourselves, what the heck am I doing with this? Why am I really bothering? And I used to laugh at myself in my own path, and I'd have that very same vibration, really frustrated with transformation. It's funny because we do have planets in Leo, it's heart chakra, it can be ego at times, it's going to be quite bold. And we're really frustrated because we're wanting to move forward. But it's also, sometimes with this whole Uranus and Taurus energy with the ruin cast, it's like, let's not leave things behind that are actually valuable here, because all of our experiences do take us to a higher point of ascension, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Yes, we do go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is a relationship. It is a spiritual contract. So, to me, that's just my personal experience, especially 7 years coaching twin flames. It's a fallacy that they can't hurt you. But when we know better, we do better. And you'll see this coming through with Reed. But there is something of a transformation coming. And I did say between now and July, this is really a huge portal for divine masculine ascending and actual physical movement and alignment happening. So stay tuned for that one. So back to the cards. There is something where divine feminine and masculine are like, okay. And sometimes we can actually psychically send that signal. So you'll find when you're very detached and you're going through your own metamorphosis and you're going through your change, once you have kind of resolved some inner conflict, it's almost like you go up a level, but you feel spiritually pulled back. That's because divine masculine is joining with you, because you're saying, okay, I've moved beyond that wound. I'm ready to now be very present in my life. And you can directly get communication through that. So there's alignment vibration going on at the moment between divine feminine and masculine. Let's dig deeper in this ruin cast. So it's pearl for the stone. The color is white and the element is fire. Okay, so it is in reverse. So I'd say spiritually both parties here Well, it's not in reverse on the screen, but yeah, anyway, we're working through it. Some of you are going to be on it. Some of you are going to be a little bit further behind. Misfortune, damage, shock, sudden change, short-term distress followed by long-term rewards, which does make sense, basically back to the crowning energy for the joint connection. It's like, you know, the old saying goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and that's just a metaphor. Almost like I said, feeling like you're not getting anywhere spiritually. Powerful natural forces, evolution, regeneration, cosmic union. So there is something spiritually that I'm seeing coming through the joint energy this week in the mix. And we'll refer back to this as I'm channeling the messages through the tarot. Now, yes, I am a psychic medium. And I do use my personal twin flame experience to guide you guys through your path. As I mentioned 100 times, we do naturally feel that we actually are going to lose the connection. Something's going to be taken from us. And I do feel divine feminine here in the mix is very ready for a new chapter. And I also feel divine masculine is as well. There is this thinking back to the past at the moment. And it was extreme. There has been a lot going on over the last 2 months. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are feeling, okay, now have I obsessively been thinking about this? Has it been ups and downs? 100%. You're really wanting this. It's all I'm hearing is an all-consuming connection. Okay, it feels an all-consuming connection. It feels like it's extremes. It's got its extreme highs and its extreme lows. And I feel both parties here, in the way they're relating to each other, they have gone through such a large upgrade that they are feeling a little bit apprehensive. It's like, are we go? Are we, you know, have we done this? Have we reached that top level yet? I do feel spiritually there is a feeling that, you know, is there going to be trouble ahead? Do we need to change direction and perspective and really get clear about what we're fighting for? I do feel if there has been conflict, I just keep hearing perspective. It's a perspective at the moment. I do feel divine feminine in the joint connection is trying to work out, you know, what is going on with this individual? Why it's so hot and cold? I do feel divine feminine feels a little bit defensive. Some of you are thinking to yourself, okay, with all these changes, if this person is unhappy in a direct situation right now, you know, what is the drama? What's the holdup? There could be a situation that they're dealing with and spiritually working on, or it could be an employment situation. For some, it can just be the karmic relationship. You know, some of you are just wondering when they're going to realize, you know, it's done. Some of you are going to hear something, and they're making reference to, you could have already heard it. There could have been some gossip that came through the grapevine. It might have made you feel a little bit shocked and taken back. And I always say, whatever you see on social media, especially as we move further into the month, there can be some gossip flying around. I did come across a post the other day, and it was so, you know, unless you hear it from the horse's mouth, I've forgotten, Socrates, I think it was Socrates. And they were talking about the fact that, A, is it gospel? Have you gone to the horse's mouth? No. B, is it going to aid me in knowing this information? No. Okay. C, is it, you know, is it vengeful, and is it lower frequency, and is it going to benefit me in any way by hearing such? No. Then discard it. Okay. Sometimes we actually stumble across information. Very, very often it's brought to trigger us. It also can be something positive, although I am thinking that a lot of you are just looking at it going, is something hidden? Am I going to hear something? How am I going to look at this? I do feel divine masculine could be spying on divine feminine. Some of you are feeling that they've hidden something. Some of you are very tired of worrying about even, you know, trust. It's like it could be just really something that you just don't have the physical energy to bother about psychoanalyzing. But it feels, whatever this is surprising. I keep seeing a dot, and the dot is being shown to me that it's like you're trying to put your finger on something, and you feel once you hear or find out, it will make more sense to you, and it will give you a little bit more patience. But I'm feeling it's polar opposite. I feel it's a mindset. I do feel something's coming to the forefront, though. This can be gossip. There could be something that comes out of the woodworks, and it does cause a delay. And like they're actually saying, my guides are saying, providing this information gives you some sense of foresight. You know, it's almost like you want a conversation. You want to know where you stand with this. You want to know if it's worthy of being patient for. Do you understand? And I think because that's not being given to you, spiritually, it's almost like you're on the precipice of going, okay, well, where do I stand with this? Is there something hidden? Is there something that isn't being shown to me? And I'm noticing on the transformation card, there's the heart chakra and there's the third eye. Again, with, you know, from the 5th, you know, Venus being in Leo, this is going to be here for a while. We're going to have Venus retrograde in Leo. I do feel in the spiritual connection, there can be, unfortunately, that head and heart kind of frequency. And I'm noticing how even the two individuals on the card, it's almost like the mirror to one another. Both parties are as apprehensive. Both parties are very invested and in love with each other, but they're also doing the integration inside of themselves. And it's almost like when we say, do I leave? It's like, you know, have we left an element of ourselves behind? So honor that thing inside you, whatever that is. And know that you don't have to shortchange yourself on things. You can have everything you desire, and it is about alignment. So sometimes we can feel that we're losing something, and it's like, well, how can I bring that back to myself? Because spiritually, I'm saying here in the mix, there is something that's going to come through. I do feel divine feminine is coming through in this joint connection in a vibrational sense of waiting for this person to move into alignment, waiting for them to actually learn some lessons. Some of you are waiting to hear of some information. I do see a pocket group here actually going through divorces, and I definitely see some conflict in the mix. I do feel there's a lot of chemistry that's coming up, and I really feel divine masculine has been really obsessively thinking about divine feminine. Some, especially in the joint connection, are looking at the karmic third party situation, and they're saying to themselves, gee, you know, I've got this connection spiritually. What the heck am I doing here? And they do have this head and heart decision, okay? Divine feminine, I do feel also the same applies to you. This could be in relationship to you reviewing the past and how you were feeling towards other people. And then really, as you're going through it, you know, sometimes we can even revisit the situation of old flames and be going, you know, if I had done X, Y, and Z, maybe I wouldn't be where I am right now. And just really try to live presently. And sometimes the most amusing things can happen when you do. And I'm seeing the stalker energy on social media. I don't feel that in a negative sense. It's just a viewpoint that the group is physically having. And you could see individuals and say, gee, you know, the one that got away, and having this very different thought process. And then when you see it, it's so different and your vibration is so different. And I just saw the third eye card in the chakra deck. So it's like you're going to see something and go, oh, gosh, did I dodge that situation? Wow. I do see there's a new chapter here. I also see people are going to be seeking out divine feminine. I do feel there's, again, family keeps coming up. I do think there's a big shift at the moment with values, value systems, something that's hidden. I'm also feeling that there is a potential that some of you might have been very patient with divine masculine due to a tribal situation. Be it it's where they live or that they're working away or that it's a karmic situation. I do see divine feminine getting a little bit cross this weekend. I just looked up and I saw the 1444. Very common sign of communication coming, a very common sign of the fact that you are moving into alignment. Look, alignment a lot of times is about you accepting what you need. And sometimes on the 3D, we're looking at the relationship and we're saying, well, I'm not seeing that right now. Acceptance doesn't mean that you're saying it's a bed of roses. Acceptance means that, you know, what you're seeing and getting versus what you physically need is polar opposite. It's about learning to accept that. I do see divine feminine's energy here. I'm going to jump, and I was going to do masculines first, but they're asking me to do feminine. So we're going to look at your cards. You have communication coming up. And, you know, the advice card with Abraham Hicks is I must focus on wanted to manifest it. Now, the divine masculine in the mix, walking their truth in reverse, and everything is always working out for me. And I'm going to dig deeper into these. That's potentially why I walked away from this point of the reading first. So, yes, divine feminine could be thinking these things. But in the long run, I do feel divine feminine could be making some statements. I'm noticing both cards break down to a 9. So this is to do with Jupiter energy, the spiritual connection, value systems, religion, and beliefs. And it's also to do with that Jupiter energy of moving forward. It's like, you know, almost like the Hermit card in Tarot. You're going internally, and, you know, it can be a notion of think before you speak. But I do see, and I'm noticing the Pearl again, which did come down to the ruin cast on her third eye, which, you know, I'm noticing the kind of flower falling, which I think it's like a willow coming through the hair. Very Apache-like, very spiritual, and, you know, like a guru energy. This communication, you could be stepping right back, and I feel as though it's because you're stepping back and you're a bit apprehensive to do with it. You are feeling as though you need to protect yourself. You're really trying to get your vibration into alignment. I'm seeing Chiron energy coming through on your card as well, divine feminine. And so it's the wounded healer frequency. The hands are very linked to Chiron, the higher heart chakra also, and I see both portals there. There is one side of your vibration in your aura that is, you'll find it'll either be an overactive feminine or an overactive masculine frequency inside of you, which is causing a little bit of imbalance and disharmony. We would never go so far to say that the behavior of others is responsible for the way you feel, because you have the power to focus and therefore attract despite the behavior of others in your environment. If every time you see something unwanted, you realize that, in the same moment you are aware of something wanted, and you quickly turn your attention to the direction of the newly emphasized wanted, everything in your experience will continue to improve. Now, it's funny that it says that. Many times when you go back into union, it is quite difficult, and it's not difficult because, you know, you haven't done the work or anything to that degree. You're actually very, very aware as a human being. So those old patterns that you had, the psychoanalysis, the giving your power away, the not articulating what you feel, walking on eggshells, all of those things dissipate. You also know when you're having a trigger and it's to do with the past and we can't turn time back. So the wounds are still there theoretically, but you also have looked at them enough that they're not defining you, but it can be a bit of a trigger point. I also noticed for me when I went into union, anytime I would look outside myself, I was reacting to the relationship like a traditional sense, but like a non-codependent. So if there was a problem and I had a perspective on it, I would look down to my hands and I would say, you have hands, you have abilities. You know, don't project your influences onto this individual. And I actually found it did work a lot better within the connection. You know, and we have been together now over 5 years. So spiritually speaking, doing the work does actually make a bit. Psychologically, when you do change your vibration intuitively, you can directly attract this connection back. Again, I did mention, if you're seeing something right now and you're feeling that it is the polar opposite to what you want, close your eyes, look up to the sun, think about how that feeling would be, like it belongs to you, and you will naturally attract it. It's quite crazy. It really does work though. Okay, what am I saying with your cards? Let's go into Divine Feminines. I always love it when I pull the cards, photograph them, put them on the screen, and my messages always come through synchronistically. If then the cards are placed down again and they go on the upright. Now, your bad luck is about to turn to gold, okay? So, again, a change in perspective is going to give you a better outcome. I do see at the moment, again, the masculine vibration inside of you could be a little bit out of alignment. Some of you could be thinking, hey, the power's all on that person's side. Nothing I do can change this. And my guides are actually saying that's actually not true. Your vibration and your intentions and that portal, that window, believe in yourself and know that you can shift this. At the moment, there could be some shake-up, some frustration linking to divine masculine. Your spiritual values and experiences, in your heart, you do have that head and heart decision. You are a bit cautious and wary. You are wanting to protect yourself. Some of you could be very direct in a communication sense, but they just keep saying, think before you speak. So for those of you in communication, hear the person out. Some hidden information can come to you through gossip, but then sit with it and actually dissect it and say, okay, I know this person to the best of my ability. Okay, I know this person. Now, is that matching what this other energy is telling me or what has come through the grapevine? I also directly feel from an intuitive level, a lot of you are wanting to articulate how you feel. And it is about waiting for that door to open, for that physical person to be in front of you or directly on the telephone, text message, etc., so that you can get off your chest what you want to. I do feel, in your heart of hearts, this person is has full potential. They do. The frustrating thing is what you're seeing them go through in an ascension sense. Some of you are going to be addressing something that you hear, and I think it will be directly with this individual. I'm also being shown that you will know when this person is ready to do with the work with you. But I do feel you're going to come through very firm. You're committed, but you also do require this individual to show commitment towards you. I feel many of you are very, very ready for a connection. But there is this question mark. And like I said, I just keep saying, Divine Feminine's wanting to have some fun. Divine Feminine's wanting to get their aura and energy up, reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with people that feel they value them. I do see that a lot of you can have projects and creative ideas coming through. Some of you are going to hear gossip through the grapevine in association or in relationship to the karmic. Now, the karmic doesn't have to be a romantic partner. For some, it can be a tribal situation. Others, it can be a physical ex or a current karmic individual. They're showing me 3 there. I do see you're going to be making some bold decisions this week. My guides are saying, focus on the things that you want. Be very intentional about it, because I do see that is going to be your saving grace. Also, when it does come to the communication, hear the person out, only because a lot of what is being brought to you is going to give you a lot more clarity, which is really what Divine Feminine's wanting right now. Some of you are feeling it's not for you to communicate. There always is a given time when that is, how can you say it? Okay to do such. There is a time and a place for the communication style. Just try to, if you are getting communication back, mirror the energy so that the person is moving in towards you. Don't go to extremes, but just really mirror that situation. If you need coaching, you can come through. Now, what I'm saying with Divine Masculine, let's dig deeper into this. I was like, okay, well, we need to understand this. Walking their truth. Let's read the Abraham Hicks card to gain more context, and I'll pull a clarifier. Nothing ever goes wrong. See, look at the polar opposite, yin to the yang of feminine. Feminine's like, okay, I'm focusing on the negative. Masculine's focusing on the positive. But, you're in the action energy, Divine Feminine. They're in the inactivity. And sometimes we need to wait for things to ripen so that they can. And there's a harmony between the both, but we're going to dig deeper. Nothing ever goes wrong, because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. Anything And that is the thing that we want you to remember. The contrast, no matter how it looks, is in movement, is contributing to your expansions. Oh, I can't get it. What they're saying is, if they are living in a karmic situation, I feel this week's going to be a test. I'll just be honest with you. Some of you are saying, when is this person going to get their life together? When are they going to get it? When are they going to get that they're not happy? Why do they keep doing things that don't make them happy? Now, if you are a high vibe energy, right, and you are a pleasure to be around and you have your own goals and, we're not going down hell's lane again and again and again in conversation piece. And then they're in a karmic relationship and this person is paranoid and attacking and manipulative. The unwanted shows us the wanted. So sometimes these karmic cycles, 90% of the time, I would say these karmic cycles serve a purpose. I do feel divine masculine's going to have a revelation this week of what they don't want. And I do see they're going to see where they're out of alignment. It's just not working for them. And I do think that they're going to get a bit moody. I am noticing through the cards. So what I'm saying here for them is, they're thinking about divine feminine quite a bit. This is like the good old days, back to the heydays. Really seeing you for the true energy that you are. I just keep hearing true colors shining through. Educated, ascended, adult, spiritual. They do want to really let go with you. They do feel that they actually do trust you. Okay, there is trust here. And they know that in order to see how this goes, they're going to have to jump. They're going to have to jump in the deep end. There's a myriad of things that could come up. They know that this is the direction they want to go, but it has infinite potentials of being risky, scary, new. Now, I do also feel there could be something coming to a head, and they are also aware that they're giving their power away and maybe giving into a karmic situation. Now, this card, again, the cards are going back to saying, don't stress, the unwanted shows the wanted. They know that this is happening on a subconscious level. So I do feel being pulled in two directions is pixelating them. And I also feel something is coming to a head this week, and it's really pushing them to realize where they're enabling another individual and that a transformation is required. Okay, what is crossing that, please? Yeah, their values aren't on the same page. It could be a monetary situation, but it's more the values. For some, it can be, it's like almost like the way they've been brought up. Okay. Yeah, I do feel there's going to be a bit of a conversation. Now, this could be coming through for some of you that are divine feminines that are aware that they're in a karmic relationship. This could be an ultimatum. You need to work out what you're doing. Where is your commitment at? I feel many divine feminines aren't wanting crumbs. They're like, if you feel that's unfinished, go do that. Talk to me when it's over. Yeah, talk to me when it's over. Some of you are going to hear things through the grapevine. This person is confusing you this week, but I do feel you're going to get to the bottom of it. And it's not about you. It's nothing you've done wrong. This person is facing an ending on their hands. It's right there. Like we have the divorce card. We have a tribal related thing coming up. Their commitment, they just keep thinking about you. It's obsessive. But they're knowing that they have to go through the fire to get to the other side of it. Divine feminine is really, for some of you, could be giving an ultimatum. You could be saying, look, you really need to make up your mind what you need to do. Maybe if I had the information of what was happening with you, I could maybe support you spiritually. I could empathize and understand. But there is a circumstance here that divine masculine this week is going to have a massive revelation that they simply are not invested in it any longer, and that the energy of their twin flame connection is something that they're very focused on, and they're needing to go through the painful transformation of letting it go to get to the other side. And I go back to the ruin cast, guys. This ruin cast signifies something's happening very quickly. Now, if you do want this content ahead of the crowd, come through and join our membership for the masculine, feminine, and karmic. All the perks are there on screen. I will update the video when I have 5. And yes, come through and join our super chats or book a personal booking.